Inbounds pass for the Wildcats comes to Milloway. Hands off to Slater, top of the key. Pulls up for a three. That is well off the mark, but they get the long carom and the offensive rebound. In the corner, Shanklin for a three. It's no good. Rebound underneath, taken by Oak Ridge. Too many offensive opportunities. Searcy got the rebound underneath and then a foul against Fulton. Foul is on Tommy Sweat, and that will be his second. And that means the Fulton lineup will get even smaller as Tommy's going to have to come out of the game. Searcy will shoot 2 free throws as this game has not started off too well for the Big Maroon. Searcy, a left-hander, fires the first one up. No good. Second opportunity forthcoming as Oak Ridge will get Jamison Upgraft into the game.
When we mean smaller lineup for Fulton, Tommy Sweat is already a head shorter than what Milloway is.
Second free throw by Searcy is good. 8-1, Oak Ridge with the lead. Inbounds pass comes to Denige Kimber against full court pressure. Fulton beats it. Here's Jackson driving to the basket. Off balance layup is good, and he's fouled. And Marcellus, using his athletic ability, drew the contact, kind of leaned back and flipped it in with the right hand. The foul will be on Searcy. And the and one upcoming for Jackson. As Fulton was running players onto the court, and someone moved while the shooter had the basketball, and that's going to be a lane violation against Fulton. So we will not get the and one. 8-3, Oak Ridge with the lead. Inbounds pass. Jackson steals it away. Athletic play, 2-on-1 break to Denige Kimber. Layup good, and he's fouled. And there is what Marcellus Jackson can do for you. An athletic play, making the interception on the pass, dumped it off to Denige Kimber for the layup, and Fulton all of a sudden is right back in it. The foul will be on Shanklin, his first. That's already the 5th team foul against Oak Ridge, which is a good sign for Fulton. And Kimber with the free throw, missed it short. Fulton only 1 of 3 from the free throw line on the game, and then Oak Ridge throws the inbounds pass out of bounds.
Fulton a little bit of life right here. They trailed 7-1, and now they've got a little momentum to try and get back in this one. They're only down by 3 here in the first quarter.
Fulton will throw it in from the midcourt stripe. Taj Kimber to Denige Kimber, the freshman. Oak Ridge is all juniors and seniors. Fulton's playing a lot of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors right now.
And that's uncharacteristic for a Fulton team. Typically, they have the upper hand in classmen.
Here's Kimber, top of the key to Holt. Right side, pulls up elbow jumper, no good. Rebound battled for, but a push, as I believe Wusami Bates pushed off on Milloway, who was fighting for position underneath. On Wusami will be his first. 8-5, Oak Ridge with the lead here in the first quarter, with 3:41 remaining in this first quarter. It's been very entertaining. Again, we're having more trouble with our video stream. If you're trying to watch on YouTube, we apologize. The internet has gone absolutely haywire tonight in the Jody Wright Arena. Here's Slater to bring it across for the Wildcats. They dump it off. Milloway releases. Open underneath the basket. They strip it. It was Bates that stripped it away. Out to Marcellus Jackson. Fulton to the other end. A three will tie it up. Hatchett is into the game now for Fulton. As Desmere at the top of the key feeds it left side. Jackson for three. Bullseye! 8-8. 3:06 remaining in the first. Oak Ridge going to run the floor. Picks up his dribble, spins, shoots. Oh, nice shot there by Miller in front of the basket to spin and shoot and score. Oak Ridge retakes the lead 10-8 with 2:50 remaining in the first. Falcons beat the pressure down the floor. Holt lost the handle, and it goes out of bounds. I think everybody for Fulton thought that Oak Ridge touched it last. They didn't go after the ball, and the referee says that it fell out of Holt's hand last. So Oak Ridge gets it back.
And Jody Wright's not happy with Hatchett right there, as he's just kind of let it roll out of bounds, thinking that it was off of Oak Ridge.
Took it for granted. Here's Miller. Feeds across to Shanklin. Right wing, now driving. This will be Searcy, drive to the basket. And I believe we're going to have a charge. Searcy called for the charge, will be his second, as Tyler Lee came underneath for the Falcons. Jackson will get a break here for Fulton as another freshman comes in for Fulton, Dexter Lewis. So Denaj Kimber, Damon Holt, Desmere Hatchett, Dexter Lewis, and Tyler Lee, the 5 on the floor for the Falcons, and a reach-in foul now called against the Wildcats. Upgraft will be called for the foul on the reach as Fulton brought it down the floor. That's his first. And that is team foul number 7, and the Falcons will have 1 and 1.
Well, the good thing for Fulton, you're shooting for the rest of the half.
Yeah. So Denaj Kimber to shoot 1 and 1. He missed the front end of a 1 and 1, or excuse me, missed a free throw earlier for the Falcons. First one is up and spins out, no good. Fulton 1 of 4 from the free throw line on the game. That's not good. Falcons trail by 2 all the way to the basket in traffic, and bailed out is going to be Slater as he drove in there deep. Fulton blocked the shot, and then finally somebody blew a whistle against Fulton. Foul will be on Taj Kimber, and Kel Slater, a junior for the Wildcats, will have 2 free throws. Just an unfortunate break for Fulton. Slater's first free throw is good. 11-8 the score. 2:17 remaining in the first. Taj now in for Denaj. And I will not try to say that 3 times quickly. Second free throw, no good. Rebound by Tyler Lee of the Falcons. Will go to the other end. Tyler's going to push it. He didn't have any help. Picks up his dribble, trapped along the sideline. Gives it off to Kimber. Baseline to Hatchett. Back on the wing, Taj Kimber. Hatchett left corner, drives in the lane, off balance shot, flipped it in. Nice shot by Desmere Hatchett, his first 2 of the game. It's a 1-point lead for the Wildcats. They feed it across to Shanklin. Ball loose on the floor. Oak Ridge is able to save it. Now to Thompson. No look pass. Beautiful pass inside to Upgraft for a layup that's good.
Sold the whole defense on that one.
Holt was a step late there. Just a beautiful pass.
I think he got caught up on the backside on a screen.
13-10. Fulton beats the pressure. Things getting a little wild and woolly here. Kimber drives center of the floor. Gives it to Lewis. Left side along the baseline. Now to Kimber on the 3 for on the wing. It's good.
Bullseye.
Taj Kimber drains a 3. And Fulton ties it up 13-13 as we reach the 1-minute mark remaining here in quarter 1. It's been a game. It's been a game in a quarter. And now we're going to have an official timeout as I think Hatchett either is bleeding or, yeah, he's bleeding, so they have to stop the game to take him out. And just in the arena, everybody's screaming for no reason. Everybody just needs to calm down. It's just the first quarter.
Yeah, wait till later down the stretch.
Marcellus Jackson back in for Fulton. Here's Stewart. Feeds it inside. Milloway releases for the layup that's good. Milloway has 7. And Jody Wright asked for a timeout as that was a defensive faux pas there by the Falcons, as that was just too easy, dumping it inside to Milloway. Timeout on the court, 48 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 15-13 the score in favor of the visiting Oak Ridge Wildcats, 21-4 on the year. Fulton 16-6, coming off a really tough loss on Tuesday night to South Doyle.
Yeah, Fulton hitting a skid. They're a very streaky team. When they're on, and they can hang with anybody. And then you just hit a skid where you can't get shots to fall. You can't get shots to fall or anything like that. And that's what's happened with Fulton tonight for sure. Is the story's been you just don't have any shots falling.
Yeah, that was a tough loss for the Falcons against South Doyle, a much improved South Doyle team. Fulton had their chances, just couldn't finish it. Falcons trail by 2. Kimber picks up his dribble against the pressure. Feeds it across to Lewis, but Oak Ridge got a hand on it. Milloway steals it away. Feeds it across to Slater. Slater. Pass along the baseline. Miller drives. Back to Milloway. Top of the key for a 3. That's good. Well, that's just tough. If the big man can drain the 3, you might be in trouble. As on the inbounds, the ball gets deflected away, out of bounds. Last touch by Oak Ridge. Got to take care of the basketball. Fulton didn't do it right there. 18-13, 21.3 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. Fulton to throw it in front of their own bench. And will likely try to hold for the last shot. They'll get the first possession of the second quarter. Kimber brings it across, 11 seconds. Gives it to Holt, out to Lee. The crowd wants him to shoot, and he will. Top of the key for 3, got it. That's why you shoot it. Tyler Lee drains the 3, and Fulton goes at the end of the first quarter trailing Oak Ridge by the score of 18-16. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with more here from Fulton as you listen to Fulton basketball on WKCS Radio. We get ready for second quarter action here on WKCS Radio. Russell Mays along with Corbin Carver. We had Tommy Sweat during the girls' game. Rain Hill on camera. I think we're back on YouTube and Periscope if you want to see the video stream. And a very special thank you to Robert Sheffield in the studio and handling the mess that is the internet tonight, Nicholas Slagle. Fulton will have the basketball to open up the second quarter. Falcons moving to the left. Here's Lee. He's going to try another 3, and he's going to drain it. Bullseye! 2 threes in a row for Tyler Lee, and Fulton gets their first lead of the game at 19-18. 7:35 remaining in the half. Fulton brings out pressure. Slater drives, feeds it out on the wing. Miller drives baseline, cut off. He threw it off a Fulton player out of bounds as he threw it hard off the chest of Marcellus Jackson, going out of bounds. So it will still be Oak Ridge basketball.
I'd watch Milloway right here.
As they go back to Stewart, shot blocked. Stewart inbounded it. They threw it right back to him. He tried to lay it in, didn't have the touch, but the rebound goes off Fulton's hands, out of bounds, and Oak Ridge will get it back. Inbounds pass comes to Miller, and we have a foul underneath as I think Fulton's holding as Milloway was trying to release back to the hoop. Foul will be on Tyler Lee. It's his second. That's not good. And Jody Wright telling Goose Golden, the official, that ain't fair. Milloway to shoot 1 and 1. First one is good. He's saying he's a whole lot bigger than our guys are. Well, and a little bit stronger and a little bit more physical.
Oak Ridge has been feeding Milloway. He's already got 11 so far tonight.
19-19. This to give Oak Ridge the lead. He got it. He may be on pace for 40, like Kamari Mitchell-Steen got in the girls' game. 20-19. Oak Ridge with the lead. Fulton beats pressure down the floor. Taj Kimber pulls up at the elbow. Shot up, no good. And then coming over the back on the rebound is going to be Wasami Bates. And now all of a sudden, Fulton beginning to get into foul trouble. as that's a 1-1. So Jonathan Stewart will be at the line to shoot 1-1 for the Wildcats.
Fulton just not able to get their bottoms on anybody on the far end. Just couldn't get the rebound, and Wusami Bates had to go over top.
First free throw by the senior Stewart is good. Second free throw to try to give Oak Ridge a 3-point lead, and he did. So after Fulton took the lead, all it did was make Oak Ridge mad. Wildcats back up by 3. Falcons facing the pressure down the floor. Marcellus Jackson trapped, gets through it, drives to the basket, layup, missed it. Milloway with the rebound. He had a path to the basket, just couldn't finish it. Slater to the other end of the floor. Driving layup is good. Slater, nice drive to the basket, slashing through. Now Oak Ridge back in pressure, 24-19. Falcons trail by 5. Oak Ridge on a 6-0 run. Hatchett, baseline, shot, floater, good along the right baseline is good.
That's a high floater. You got to shoot over Milloway, and he's every bit of probably 6'7".
4 points for Hatchett. Shanklin brings it across. Feeds it Stewart on the wing for 3, and it's good. Oak Ridge beginning to get hot here. 6-point lead for the Wildcats, 27-21 with 6:13 remaining in the half. Denaj Kimber is going to go to the basket, driving layup, no good, but a block is going to be called on Milloway, and that will be his second.
Fulton just needs to attack Milloway now. You've already got him with 2. If you can get a third one here in the second quarter, they're going to have to sub him out.
Here's Kimber to shoot 2. The first one is good. So Milloway picks up his second foul. And now Aaron Green, head coach of the Wildcats, trying to make nice with the officials. Actually not nicely making nice. As the second free throw is good, as he was unhappy with that call. 27-23, 4-point lead. Oak Ridge pressure. They float a pass to Miller. Miller snags it, drives to the free throw line, layup no good. And then on the closeout, a foul against the Falcons. It's going to be on Bates, and that will be his third. Wusami in the game because Sweat has 2 fouls. And Wusami Bates just picked up his third. And he'll send Lucas Searcy, or actually Miller, to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. The front end is good. And that's the last 1-and-1 of the half for Oak Ridge. They'll be shooting 2 the rest of the way. 28-23. Second free throw, front iron, no good. Rebound by Bates. Clears it out to Desmere Hatchett. Hatchett, right side, pulls up elbow, jumper, rattled out, no good. Milloway picks away the rebound for Oak Ridge.
Fulton just taking too quick of shots. They're not setting up the offense or anything. They're just trying to get separation, and then they shoot it.
Stewart in the corner for 3, got it. 2 threes in a row for Stewart, and it's an 8-point lead for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge got out to a quick start in the first quarter. Fulton came back, and a quick start here in the second quarter for the Wildcats. Here's Kimber, going to pull up for a 3. Rattled out, no good. Rebound by Upgraft. Bounce pass down the floor to Stewart. Stewart's going to drive all the way to the basket. Driving layup, good. Well, you got to do something about him. And Jody Wright's going to call timeout to figure out what it is.
Stewart has erupted here in the second quarter, scoring 10 for the Wildcats, and that's what's put them up by 10.
33-23. Oak Ridge with the lead, 5:02 remaining here in the first half. We'll take a 60-second break and be back as you listen to Fulton basketball on WKCS Radio.
Let's be real. The odds of a high school athlete getting a college scholarship and making it to the pros are pretty slim. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to dream of becoming a pro athlete, even a famous one. But that's not why I play. My reason why? I love the competition.
My reason why is community.
My reason why is leadership.
My reason why is to challenge myself.
My reason why is love for the game.
And hey, if we don't make it to the pros or onto the cover of Sports Illustrated, that's okay, because there's every reason to believe we'll excel in something even bigger than sports. We'll excel in life.
There are lots of great reasons to play high school sports. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association.
33-23, Oak Ridge on an 11-0 run after the Falcons took the lead. Fulton with the basketball, trying to pick up the pieces. Here's Marcellus Jackson. Jumper from the wing, no good. Rebound tipped in the hands of Milloway. Oak Ridge with numbers to the other end. Miller drives baseline, flips it back. Top side updraft for three is good. Oak Ridge red hot from beyond the arc. 36-23. Fulton needs to find an answer, and fast. Jackson on the wing. Bounce pass to Holt. Free throw line, Hatchett. In traffic, floater good by Desmere Hatchett. 6 points for him on the night. 36-25. 11-point game. Stewart in front of the Fulton bench. Gets it inside, tried to get it to Milloway, but Hatchett knocked it loose for Fulton. Desmere to the other end, feeds it. Baseline, Jackson for three. Good! Marcellus Jackson drains his second three-pointer of the game. Makes it 36-28. Oak Ridge at the other end. They're going to try another three. They're going to miss it short, and then a foul underneath. And let's see. It's going to be on Holt on a push-out, trying to get position for the rebound. On Damon will be his first, and it was Milloway who was pushed. The big oak tree underneath. I don't see how he could have been pushed. And he'll have two free throws. The first one is no good.
Ball don't lie.
That's what they say. 3:43 remaining in the half. 36-28, Oak Ridge with the lead. Second free throw, no good. So apparently, ball did not lie. Fulton with the rebound to the other end. Jackson, left side. Now to Hatchett, a deep three. It is missed short. Rebound tipped into the hands of Usami Bates. Flips it back, Marcellus Jackson for three, no good. Bates gets the rebound, and he's fouled on the putback. And the Fulton bench just erupted. That's a foul is on Upgraft as Wusami used his athletic ability to pull the shot and get the offensive rebound, and he'll be at the line to shoot two.
Usami can literally jump out of the gym. I mean,
it's just learning how to harness it. First free throw is good.
There are definitely times where he jumps too high and ends up getting whistled for a foul, but right there, that was just perfect execution to get in the air and get that rebound.
36-29, Oak Ridge with the lead. Second free throw, rattled out, no good. Rebound taken by Shanklin. That was a walk, they missed it. As the ball fell out of his hands as he tried to pass, he picked it back up and went. Ball loose again on the floor. Shanklin picks it up, feeds it across to Stewart. Stewart with a hand in his face, has to give it to Slater on the left wing. Slater looks to drive in traffic. Shot blocked away, but it bounces into the hands of Shanklin, and his turnaround jumper in front of the basket is good. (38-29), 9-point lead for the Wildcats. And now we have a timeout as Hatchett is bleeding again as he has a cut right around his eye. Right on the side of his head at his eye that is openly bleeding. So he's going to have to come out of the game and come under the attention of trainer Ben Conaway. Fulton saves the possession. Kimber inbounds to Kimber, and Denage will bring it across. 2:39 remaining in the half. Denage, left side, gives it to Bates. In the corner, Damon Holt. Damon drives to the elbow, picks up his dribble. In trouble, needs help. Pass deflected away and stolen by Miller, and good, they called it. because as Miller went to steal the pass, he pushed Denaj Kimber, and it took him a minute to blow the whistle. The foul will be against Miller, his first, and Denaj Kimber will have 2 free throws for the Falcons. Very physical, wild basketball game here. Kimber's first free throw is good.
After a rough start from the line, Fulton's kind of dialed it in here in the second quarter.
Second free throw, good.
As they've only missed one, and Denaj has hit 4 of 4 after going 0 of 2 to start.
38-31. Remember, Fulton's playing without 2 starters here, as both Sweat and Lee are on the bench in foul trouble. Slater brings it across. Left side, Miller. Guarded by Taj Kimber. Good action to the basket. Stewart underneath the basket. Pass deflected away and stolen. Here's Kimber driving. Layup is, they slapped the backboard. That should have been a goaltend. No call, as Oak Ridge got a break as it was on the rim and they slapped the backboard. Here's Stewart for a 3. No good. Rebound Marcellus Jackson of Fulton. Outlet pass is lost. It's loose. And Stewart somehow saves it before he goes out of bounds. They get a run out and a layup to Shanklin. That's just a series of unfortunate events for the Falcons. But give Oak Ridge the credit for the hustle to keep the ball alive. 40-31. Denaj Kimber, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound battled for out of bounds. Last touch by Fulton. And Oak Ridge will get it back with 1:24 remaining. As once again the crowd begins to yell and scream. It's not even the second half yet. Miller brings it across for the Wildcats. Feeds it right side to Slater, guarded by Damon Holt. Slater between the rings, right side to Searcy. Searcy lost it, and then a reach-in is going to be called against Fulton. A reach-in as Searcy was losing the basketball will be called against Denaj Kimber, and that will give Oak Ridge 2 free throws.
Well, we've got a young crew officiating tonight. As you know, they're not, I guess TSSAA is trying to keep as minimal people as possible,
Yep.
so they're letting officials ref really all 3 games. I mean, towards the end of the night, these guys are burnt out, I'm sure, and just so far, it's just been an unfortunate turn of events. Fulton not getting calls as of late.
First free throw by Searcy is good. Second one is good. 42-31. The lead mushroom back up to 11. 1:06 remaining in the half. Denaj Kimber. Now to Tyrell Nixon, top of the key. Tyrell feeds it left side to Kimber. Looks to drive. Leads with his shoulder. Flips it back to Taj. Pull-up jumper with a hand in his face. No good. Jackson tried to get the rebound and knocked it off an Oak Ridge player out of bounds.
They hit it right off of an Oak Ridge player's face. And
Yep.
Jackson didn't touch it again.
Oak Ridge played a little face ball. Fulton with the inbounds pass. Here's Kimber, drives to the basket, off balance shot is good by Denaj Kimber. 42-33, 9-point lead. Slater all the way to the basket, layup good. Nobody cut him off, and he got the easy layup. Behind his back, here's Kimber. 20 seconds left. Oak Ridge with an 11-point lead as we approach halftime. Pass deflected away and stolen by Oak Ridge. This is Searcy. Going to try to go coast to coast, and Fulton knocked it away from the backside. It's still Oak Ridge's basketball.
I don't know how. I thought it hit off of the knee, but the refs aren't getting down the court to get in position.
So with 10.7 seconds left, Oak Ridge leading by 11 will throw it in underneath their own hoop. Slater feeds it to Miller at the free throw line. Miller drives, charge! Lowered his shoulder. Miller lowered his shoulder. And Marcellus Jackson drew it underneath. Offensive foul gives Fulton the basketball back with 7.1 seconds remaining in the half, as Tyler Lee and Tommy Sweat will come in for their shooting abilities. Oak Ridge will not pressure the inbounds pass, so Fulton can roll it down the floor if they like, at least part of the way. Now Oak Ridge brings pressure. Denaj brings it across, drives all the way to the basket, off the layup, good. Nice move. They didn't defend, and Denaj laid it in at the buzzer. And we go to the halftime locker room with Oak Ridge, a 9-point lead, but Fulton hanging tough. Halftime score here from Fulton. It's Fulton trailing Oak Ridge 44-35. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back with more from the Jody Wright Arena as you listen to Fulton basketball on WKCS Radio.
I'm Rick Stockstill from Middle Tennessee State University. Before a game, I learn all I can about our opponent in order to give us the best chance for success. So, what do you know about youth suicide? Do you know that it is now the second leading cause of death of our youth ages 10 to 24? What you don't know could be tragic. To learn more about our opponent of youth suicide, visit jasonfoundation.com.
Hi, I'm Philip Fulmer. Did you know that in the U.S. we lose a young person to suicide every 90 minutes? The good news is that suicide is one of the leading causes of preventable death in our nation. Visit jasonfoundation.com. Working together, we can make a difference.
Honey, isn't it amazing?
What?
The sacrifice, the dedication, the grit. I mean, they really set an example, don't they?
Oh, well, no question. Today's high school athletes are truly special.
Not the athletes.
Well, who?
The officials.
Oh.
Today's student athletes are truly special. But there's something pretty great about the men and women who officiate their games, too. Like the way they're giving back to their communities. Officiating is a terrific way to stay in shape, meet new people, and stay connected to the game you love. But the biggest reason of all? We need more qualified high school officials here in Tennessee. And without them, the rest of us would have a whole lot less to cheer about. High school games need officials. High school sports need you.
Great call, Ralph.
Yeah.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up, just like that.
Giving up on what?
On getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Let's be real. The odds of a high school athlete getting a college scholarship and making it to the pros are pretty slim. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to dream of becoming a pro athlete, even a famous one. But that's not why I play. My reason why? I love the competition.
My reason why is community.
My reason why is leadership.
My reason why is to challenge myself.
My reason why is love for the game.
And hey, if we don't make it to the pros or onto the cover of Sports Illustrated, that's okay. Because there's every reason to believe we'll excel in something even bigger than sports. We'll excel in life.
There are lots of great reasons to play high school sports. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association.
If an individual student athlete or team wins a high school state championship, it's an amazing thing. It's also just the icing on the cake. That's because young people in Tennessee who participate in education-based athletics are already winners. Studies show that win or lose, participation helps to impart skills they can use to enjoy greater success in other areas of their lives. School sports teach the benefits of teamwork, the value of self-motivation, and the importance of accountability. They also help to foster stronger work habits and higher levels of self-esteem. In other words, the true value of school sports can't be measured in terms of wins or losses. If an individual or team goes to state, it's an incredible accomplishment. But regardless of the outcome, today's student athletes are already destined to go far. School sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Russell Mays and Corbin Carver back here at the Jody Wright Arena at halftime of the second game of our basketball doubleheader. It's the Oak Ridge Wildcats red hot from the field, leading Fulton by the score of 44-35 as Jonathan Milloway got off to a red hot start. 10 points in the first quarter for Oak Ridge. Once Fulton finally got him out of the game, then it was Jonathan Stewart getting red hot from beyond the arc. So both inside and outside, Oak Ridge kind of having their way with Fulton, but Fulton playing scrappy basketball, and they've kept themselves in the game.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely the key in this one is Fulton has to play scrappy to keep themselves in, because whenever they start getting down, and you saw whenever Sweat and Lee were both out, that's when bad things happen. When your court general, Tommy Sweat, ends up having to be out of the game, Tommy's good because he can make those quick adjustments on the court with the guys that he sees that Coach Wright might not see from the bench. So losing Sweat was a big key. But Kimber, Denaj Kimber leading with 10 points so far. As late in the second quarter, he erupted for the Falcons, and then Marcellus Jackson got off to the hot start to put Fulton back in the game when they trailed 7-1. So Fulton just going to have to keep making plays, and you're going to have to figure out who's going to go off for Oak Ridge in the third quarter, and we're going to have to shut them down early.
Well, and for Fulton, you got to find a way. It's kind of the same thing that plagued the Lady Falcons down the stretch in their game. When the game was on the line, you just couldn't get the basketball to go through the hoop. So you've got to get some guys to consistently hit some shots from the outside. Taking a look at the leading scorers unofficially in the first half for Fulton, led by Denaj Kimber with 10, Marcellus Jackson with 9, Tyler Lee and Desmere Hatchett with 6 apiece, Taj Kimber with 3, and Wusami Bates, who played a lot of minutes in the first half because of foul trouble, had 1 point. For the Wildcats, Milloway with 12, Jonathan Stewart with 10, then 5 apiece from Miller, Upgraft, Slater. Shanklin had 4, and 3 from Lucas Searcy. 44-35 is our halftime score here from Fulton High School. We'll take a 2-minute break. Oak Ridge with the lead, and we'll be back with the second half in 2 minutes as you listen to Fulton basketball on WKCS Radio.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Tennessee knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Oak Ridge will have the ball to open up the second half here from the Jody Wright Arena, as it's the Oak Ridge Wildcats leading the Fulton Falcons by the score of 44-35. As we expect to see, we'll see Tommy Sweat back out on the floor for the Falcons along with Tyler Lee, and I think that's going to be big for Fulton in the second half to have those guys back out there, because number one, it gives you a little bit more size.
Well, also looking at Oak Ridge's lineup, if Fulton could just get a couple more of their guys to get another foul, they're going to have to sit out potentially, because a lot of Oak Ridge players have 2 fouls. So if you get that third foul on them, they may be headed towards the bench, especially if you can get it on them early. I mean, Milloway's got 2. If Tommy can draw one on him, he should have to probably end up going towards the bench if I'm Coach Green.
So it'll be Oak Ridge with the basketball. Stewart to work it in to Slater. As Oak Ridge moves towards our left. Slater, bounce pass back to Stewart. Slater, right side, looks to drive against Marcellus Jackson. Stops in front of the basket, spins, shot up, no good. Rebound, Tyler Lee. Outlet pass comes to Denaj Kimber. Taj on the baseline. Had to stop to Denaj. Fires up a shot, no good in the lane, but he's fouled on the shot. And again, the thing you have to, as the foul is on Miller, will be his third. These are freshmen for Fulton. 3 freshmen on the floor going up against a very experienced Oak Ridge team. Kimber to shoot 2. First one rattled in, rattled out, rattled back through.
I don't even think Denaj thought it was going to go in. He kind of leaned back, shocked.
Second free throw, that one rattled out. Rebound by Shanklin. 8-point lead for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge with the basketball in their gray jerseys. Slater comes around to screen, drives, and it's going to be a charge. Slater led with the shoulder, and that was Tyler Lee underneath to draw the charge. And a good defensive stop there by the Falcons. Fulton with a chance to try to cut into this lead. Kimber around a screen. Looks to drive. Fulton spreads the floor. Taj in the corner for 3, and it's good. Taj Kimber, his second three-pointer of the game, and Fulton cuts the lead to 5 at 44-39 as Fulton coming out hot. Fulton tries to trap. Ball loose on the floor, stolen away. Tommy Sweat. Fulton with numbers on the break. Tommy pull up, jumper good. Tommy gets his first 2 of the game. Good team effort to get the steal. Tommy picked it up and got the basket. All of a sudden, it's a 3-point game. Here's Stewart, top of the key. Somebody getting a hand in his face. Stewart pulls it back out. Oak Ridge will get into an offensive set. 44-41 with 6.5 remaining. They throw inside to Milloway. Over the top, layup good. It's been there when they wanted it. 46-41 as Oak Ridge stops the Fulton run. Denaj Kimber, right wing. Marcellus Jackson, top of the key. Marcellus, free throw line, spins with a hand in his face. A floater is up and good.
He's just an all-around playmaker. He's made his presence known so far tonight.
11 for Marmar. Fulton tried to trap. Oak Ridge beats it. Fulton thought Oak Ridge stepped out of bounds. Instead, a no-look pass to Stewart for an easy layup. You work too hard at one end to give up an easy basket on the other end. 48-43 as we're under the 6-minute mark here in the third quarter. Sweat on the left wing. Almost walked. Dribbles it to the top of the key, looking for some offensive motion. Looking for a cutter, nobody there. Denaj Kimber, 3, top of the key, missed it short. The rebound comes right back to Tommy Sweat. His shot's no good, and Stewart gets the rebound for Oak Ridge. Stewart's going to push it. Bounce pass underneath to Shanklin. Wild shot up, no good, but somehow Stewart got the rebound. He's just so athletic that he gets a hand on just about everything, and then Fulton fouled. You give Oak Ridge 2 more. And Slater made the first. 6 points for him. Desmere Hatchett, with a patched up cut, comes into the game.
Marmar may have.
Brings it across. High dribble. Waits to Lee, top of the key. Drives to the basket. Shot up, no good. Tried to go up against Milloway. Fired it up too hard. Stewart to the other end. Nah, beautiful pass on the bounce to Searcy for the layup that's good.
Well, Fulton started off hot. Now they've just dug themselves a hole again.
As it is a 9-point lead for Oak Ridge. Kimber spins, off-balance shot, fouled. Tried to take it to the basket. And Milloway will pick up his third.
Keep attacking. Attack.
So Denaj Kimber will have 2 free throws here. First free throw, back iron, no good. Second free throw by Kimber. Missed it short. But Tyler Lee gets the rebound, but they're going to say he came over the back. No, they'll say a push is called against Miller, and Jeremy Miller just picked up his 4th foul. I think we might have caught a break there. Lee had the rebound, but he was out of position. So Fulton will throw it in underneath. Lee gets it along the baseline. Back to Kimber in the corner, partially blocked the 3. Milloway gets the loose basketball. Oak Ridge trying to make it a double-digit lead with 4:37 remaining. Searcy dumps it off Milloway, layup good.
That's what they'll do. They'll drive to the wings and then look inside as soon as they get somebody drawn out.
Here's Denaj Kimber. Left side to Sweat, back to Kimber underneath the basket, tries to get around, gives it to Taj for a 3, no good, but Milloway palms the rebound. Fulton was in position, but Milloway just pulled it away. Slater, back to Stewart, in the corner to Searcy. Ball loose on the floor, stolen away by Fulton. It's Denaj Kimber with the steal. Driving to the basket, layup too hard, but Tyler Lee's with the follow. His putback's no good, and Stewart saves the basketball. And Fulton will get it back somehow. Golden opportunities missed by the Falcons. Missing the late 18 points on the game. Free throw is no good. 56-43, 13-point lead for the Wildcats. Fulton was clawing back into it, but Oak Ridge beginning to pull away. Lee, left wing, drives all the way to the basket. Layup good. Oak Ridge tried to draw the charge. They didn't call it.
They've been a little relaxed on some calls right now.
Fulton almost had a steal, and Oak Ridge is going to have to call a timeout against the Fulton pressure. 56-45 with 3:06 remaining. We'll take a 60-second break. Oak Ridge up by 11. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton basketball on WKCS Radio.
Today, my new dad threw a barbecue.
Today, my new son and I threw a barbecue.
There were burgers and chicken.
I burnt everything. The burgers, the chicken, the salad.
They were delicious.
They were awful.
And then we had watermelon.
I'm allergic to watermelon.
And then we played catch.
I broke Mr. Lewis's window, Mrs. Wakeham's window, Mrs. Wakeham's windshield. And then, somehow, my hand. My hand!
And then my dad even let me drive his car.
The hospital's on the right! It was a rough day.
It was a great day.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Oak Ridge has been really good tonight, leading 56-45, making Fulton really pay for their mistakes. Oak Ridge with the basketball after the timeout, working it around the wing. Searcy drives in the lane. They dump it up to Milloway. Ball got knocked loose, volleyballed around, picked up by Fulton. To the other end with the basketball. They dump it across now to Holt for a 3, a long 3, and it's good. Just what the doctor ordered. As Damon Holt gets his first points of the game, and Fulton cuts it to 8. Stewart brings it across to Slater. Baseline three-pointer by Oak Ridge, rattled out, no good. Milloway got the rebound, and Fulton got him under the arm. He just gets in the right position for those rebounds, and they bounce right to him every time. The foul will be on Wusami Bates, will be his 4th. And Milloway will have 2 more free throws. And really the big moment for Fulton in this game, as Milloway makes the first, is when Marcellus Jackson picked up that 3rd foul. He was making such a difference for Fulton. It's been rough sledding ever since he's been out. 57-48. Oak Ridge with the lead. This to make it a 10-point spread. He missed it short. 2:22 remaining in the 3rd. Denaj Kimber, left side with the basketball, lost it off his foot. And, they're going to call an over and back. It is Oak Ridge basketball, but that's a break for Fulton because I think Oak Ridge was getting ready to get an easy basket as the official just simply made a mistake there, and he knew it.
Inadvertent whistle is what that is, and I know the Oak Ridge fans aren't going to be happy about it, but it happens.
Well, inadvertent whistle saves Fulton's bacon on that one. Wildcats still have the basketball. Right side, Upgraff gets it inside to Milloway, layup good. 9 for him in the quarter, 21 for the game. 59-48. Kimber, left side to Hatchett. Holt, top of the key, looks to drive. Damon to the basket. Off balance, shot off the glass, good. Nice drive by Damon Holt. But Oak Ridge gets a run out at the other end. Stewart, layup, no good, but he was pushed by Tyrell Nixon on the way to the basket. Can't go to sleep getting back against Oak Ridge.
No, they get the ball in, and then they're looking to right down court, and that's just a great outlet pass.
Stewart will have 2 free throws here. He missed his last 2. 59-50. First one is good. 60-50 as Tommy Sweat comes into the ball game for Nixon. 10-point advantage for the Wildcats with 1:37 remaining in the 3rd. Oak Ridge led by 9 at the end of the half. Second free throw is good. 11-point lead for the Wildcats. Fulton needs baskets here. 90 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Sweat, right side for 3. Missed it short, but Usami Bates gets the rebound over Milloway. Feeds it inside to Sweat. Tommy can't hold it. Bates picks it up again for Fulton. Here's a drive to the basket. Shot up is good and a foul. Denaj Kimber got slapped on the arm, but somehow he was able to slide it in.
He got that good bounce, that Jody Wright Arena bounce right there, just able to get it up.
Foul is on Slater, will be his first. And Kimber to get the 3-point play the hard way, and he does. 16 points for Denaj Kimber on the night. Fulton cuts the Oak Ridge lead to 8. Here's Slater. They feed it across on the wing. Upgraff for a 3. Good.
You can't.
Fulton just didn't recover as they threw it across the floor. Upgraff with 8. That's his second 3-pointer of the game. Back to an 11-point advantage. Hatchett at the elbow. Drives, cut off. Bates. Now to Kimber. 42 seconds left. Kimber feeds it back. Hatchett on the wing for 3. No good, but Denaj gets the rebound. Out to Holt. Rebound no good. Long rebound to Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge with the numbers. Driving to the basket. Shot's going to be blocked. As Upgraff tried to drive it, Fulton blocked the shot and came away with the loose basketball. 18 seconds left. Fulton will hold for a last shot, and they'll get the first possession of the 4th quarter.
This could be a huge swing right here for Fulton.
Top of the key. Kimber gives it to Hatchett. 3 seconds left. Kimber off the glass. Good. A beautiful drive by Denaj Kimber. Lays it in at the buzzer, and Fulton cuts the lead to 9 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Through 3 quarters here at the Jody Wright Arena, your score. It's Oak Ridge 64, Fulton 55. Back in 60 seconds with the 4th quarter as you listen to Fulton basketball on WKCS Radio.
Honey, isn't it amazing?
What?
The sacrifice, the dedication, the grit. I mean, they really set an example, don't they?
Oh, well, no question. Today's high school athletes are truly special.
Not the athletes.
Well, who?
The officials.
Oh.
Today's student athletes are truly special. But there's something pretty great about the men and women who officiate their games, too. Like the way they're giving back to their communities. Officiating is a terrific way to stay in shape, meet new people, and stay connected to the game you love. But the biggest reason of all? We need more qualified high school officials here in Tennessee. And without them, the rest of us would have a whole lot less to cheer about. High school games need officials. High school sports need you.
Great call, Ralph.
Yeah.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
We go to the fourth and final quarter here at the Jody Wright Arena. 64-55 is the score as Kimber got the basket, and Fulton will get the first possession here of the fourth quarter with a chance to slice into the lead a little bit more. Sweat to throw it in to Taj Kimber. Kimber dribbles to the left side in front of the Fulton bench. Now drives to the elbow, kicks it out, Hatchett. Hatchett at the three-point line. Now back to Kimber for a three. That's good. Taj Kimber, he has 3 3-pointers in the game. Now you've got Marcellus Jackson back in the ball game. Fulton's going to press, and then Taj Kimber reaches in from the backside, and that's going to be the last foul for Fulton before Oak Ridge goes into the bonus. On Kimber will be his second foul. 64-58, a 6-point lead for the Wildcats. 7:35 remaining in the ball game. Inbounds pass comes to Slater. Now to Shanklin, top side, trying to find Milloway on the inside. Instead, they feed it across, and they throw it out of bounds. That pass was intended for C.J. Roach.
Well, he is wearing gray, so.
But the bad news was he had a camera in his hand. He's not playing tonight. Fulton basketball after the Oak Ridge turnover. A rare unforced error by the Wildcats. Sweat on the wing for three. Bullseye! Tommy Sweat. 64-61. Fulton goes for the steal on the inbounds, can't get it. They'll have to retreat. 7:03 remaining. Fulton with the first 6 points of the quarter. Slater, topside, drives, puts his head down, gives it off to Milloway. Shot up off the glass, no good. Rebound tipped into the hands of Slater. Drives. Block called against Sweat as Tommy went to try to draw the charge. And Slater, who's really been a pest for Oak Ridge out there on the floor, a little slow to get up.
Well, they're going to make Milloway earn everything he's going to get during this fourth quarter. They double-teamed him for both possessions now for Oak Ridge, and whenever he put that ball down, everyone for Fulton swarmed him.
Slater has 7 points on the game, makes the first free throw, makes it a 4-point game. Second free throw. Front iron, no good. Rebound by Sweat. 4-point ball game with 6:49 left. Fulton pushes it. Here's Kimber on the wing for three. Too hard. Rebound Karams right to Milloway. Oak Ridge to the other end. Got to play some defense here. Bounce pass. They feed it out to Slater. And Oak Ridge will reset. Slater is only a junior. Looking for Milloway in the post. They go to Searcy. Back to Slater. Now Aaron Green calls an offensive play. 65-61. Oak Ridge with the lead. 6:20 remaining. Inside, Milloway double teamed along the baseline, and a reach in called against Fulton underneath. Going to be on Sweat, and that will be his fourth.
Well, I think with the way Sweat's playing, you just got to let him play.
Yeah. Got to let it ride.
They're going to pull him. I can see it either way.
Tommy just told the official if I was on the radio, I'd be blasting you. Milloway for a 1-and-1. First one is good. He didn't say that. I don't know what he said.
Well, at one point they are calling it really tight, and then at times they're letting them play.
Second free throw, Milloway off the back glass, no good. So Oak Ridge only got one there, 5-point lead. Here's Marcellus Jackson with the basketball, guarded by Slater. Gives it over to Denaj Kimber. Now to Hatchett. Hatchett, free throw line. Spins, back to Denaj Kimber. Under 6 minutes remaining. Denaj drives, kicks it to Taj. Head fake at the free throw line. Now kicks it out. Hatchett for three. Back iron, no good. Rebound gets to Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge with a run out, and Milloway somehow is able to corral it before it went out of bounds. They've had a couple of those tonight. Here's Slater, drives, kicks off in the corner for a three. Good by Searcy. And every time they've needed a shot like that, they've made it tonight. They've been good on the three ball. Back out to an 8-point lead. Jackson for a three, missed it long. Oh, and the ultimate of bad luck. It bounces up, hits the top of the rim, and goes through, but it does not count.
And that's just the night Fulton's had, is whenever you get an opportunity, somehow, some way, luck doesn't fall your way. And
well, Fulton's been clutch tonight. Oak Ridge has just been more clutch.
Well,
and that's the difference between juniors and seniors playing against freshmen.
And also, just looking at the stat sheet, I mean, Oak Ridge is shooting a lot. It's just they foul too many times on shots. Not overall fouling a lot, but the fouls they are committing is whenever Oak Ridge is shooting the basketball. It's not a reach-in foul. It's not one of those knick-knack fouls. Instead, it's underneath. It's a hard foul that puts Oak Ridge in a chance to score points.
Well, and the foul trouble has changed who Fulton could have out on the floor. So Fulton really, very rarely tonight has been able to have their best group out on the floor. Now, this will be valuable lessons for this team, win or lose, with so many young players out there. I mean, this is a state tournament very much caliber team for Oak Ridge, as they always are, and you've played them tough tonight. And Jody writes not about moral victories, but Fulton in a tough situation. They've almost been out of it a couple of times, and they stay in it. Slater brings the ball down the floor, gives it to Milloway. Back to Stewart, pull-up jumper is good. And again, Oak Ridge has just been more clutch tonight, as that was a open jumper that he drained. They just don't miss much. 71-61. So after Fulton cut the lead to 4, Oak Ridge has gone back out to a 10-point lead. Does Fulton have another run in them? Hatchett pulls up from the elbow, no good. Rebound by Searcy. And then a quick reach in called against Fulton against Taj Kimber will be his third. And we'll go to the other end. 2 free throws for Oak Ridge, as Searcy will have 2. 4:45 remaining in the game. Fulton will have one more regular season home game Tuesday night here against Carter. Boys only at 7:30. First free throw by Searcy is good. (72-61). Second free throw, good. Fulton hit 2 threes to open the quarter and have been silent since. 12-point lead for the Wildcats. Here's Tyler Lee driving to the basket. Feeds it across to Sweat along the baseline. Back inside, Marcellus Jackson, nowhere to go. And Slater, as we said, as a pass, knocks it away and gets the steal for the Wildcats. Slater, Fulton spreads the floor. Slater drives, shot off the glass, good.
And Sweat can't step up and be aggressive. He's playing with 4 fouls, and for Fulton, that would be the major blow.
Here's Kimber. Head fake at the jumper, short. Rebound by Oak Ridge. Miller picks away the rebound. Wildcats with a 14-point lead. Will they try to run some clock here as they begin to pull away? Stewart, guarded by Kimber, feeds it across to Searcy on the right side. Looking for a cutter to the basket. They feed it to Searcy. Drives, layup, good. as the Red Sea just parted and Searcy drove to the basket for the layup. All of a sudden, it's a 16-point lead for the Wildcats as the wheels falling off the Falcon wagon here. Fulton works around the perimeter as Kimber just dribbles the basketball off his foot. Oak Ridge steals it away, and then Fulton kicks it away. And as Jody Wright kind of has the look on his face across the way, is we're just going to learn some lessons out here tonight, guys. Timeout on the court, 3:15 remaining, 77-61 as Oak Ridge pulling away late. We'll take a 60-second break and be back as you listen to Fulton basketball on WKCS Radio.
Let's be real. The odds of a high school athlete getting a college scholarship and making it to the pros are pretty slim. Don't get me wrong, it's okay to dream of becoming a pro athlete, even a famous one. But that's not why I play. My reason why? I love the competition.
My reason why is community.
My reason why is leadership.
My reason why is to challenge myself.
My reason why is love for the game.
And hey, if we don't make it to the pros or onto the cover of Sports Illustrated, that's okay, because there's every reason to believe we'll excel in something even bigger than sports. We'll excel in life.
There are lots of great reasons to play high school sports. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association.
After the Fulton timeout, Oak Ridge with the basketball. Slater underneath, goes up, shot, just winning. I mean, it's just, Oak Ridge can't miss at this point. They could probably sit on their bottom with their back to the basket and throw it in. Here's a ball knocked loose as it got knocked out of the hands of Lee, and it'll still be Fulton basketball. And when a team's shooting it that well, there's absolutely nothing you can do. 79-61. Fulton is not shooting it well right now. That's why a 4-point lead is now 18. It was 4-point lead in this quarter. Jackson out on the wing. They try to feed inside to Kimber. Ball gets knocked loose, but Tyler Lee able to save it. Tyler drives, shot up good, and a foul. Nice power move by the freshman, Tyler Lee, to the basket. And Tyler into double figures with his 10th point of the game. And the foul is on Miller, and he will foul out of the basketball game. As Jeremy Miller, a senior, fouls out on the drive by the freshman, Tyler Lee. Miller with 5 points on the night. So Lee will have 2 free throws. Actually, they say it's a 1-and-1. That was an and-one, yeah. It's good. 79-64. Slater to bring it down the court for Oak Ridge. Over to Shanklin, back to Slater. In the corner for 3, no good. They finally missed one, but they get the offensive rebound. Shanklin gets the offensive rebound, puts it back in, and he's fouled.
Well, nobody's underneath to get a rebound, and that's what's going on.
Fulton learning lessons tonight, no question about it. The foul is on Marcellus Jackson, will be his 4th. 81-64 the score. And Shanklin will have the and one here. Free throw is good. Well, if you score 82 points against a Fulton team, that means you did just about everything right, and that's what Oak Ridge did tonight. Fulton had flashes, but not enough. Here's Kimber driving in the lane. Head fake, turnaround jumper, muscled it up, no good. Lee had a hand on the rebound, but knocked it out of bounds. And again, I stress, it was a 4-point game right at the start of the 4th quarter as Fulton cut into the lead.
Well, Fulton's only been able to score 9 points.
In this quarter, yeah. 2 minutes left in the game. We'll see some new faces in for Oak Ridge as they throw it away. The stolen by Taj Kimber. Pull-up jumper, good. 82-66. as the pressure giving Oak Ridge a little bit of trouble. As this is Searcy, throws it center of the floor to Upgraft, and he'll stop at the top of the key. Minute 38 remaining. Upgraft has the ball deflected away and stolen by Tyler Lee. Lee drives to the basket, layup too hard. Rebound battled for, he gets it back and lays it back in. As there was a mass of humanity underneath the basket, somehow Tyler was able to pick it up. 82-68, here's another steal. Here's Fulton driving, gives it off, free throw line to Marcellus Jackson, jumper good. As Aaron Green kind of having some mercy on Fulton, put some subs into the game. He took Milloway out, and Fulton took advantage to cut the lead to 12.
Well, I mean, for Oak Ridge, it's just been careless turnovers. 3 times right here in the middle at half court, it's just been intercepted. I mean, they've just thrown the ball directly to Fulton. Now, Fulton, on the other hand, finally hitting some shots. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Green ends up pulling out right here, if he goes back with his starters or if he tries to keep the same lineup but just make adjustments on who's where.
Well, it's so hard, you know, when you think you have it in the bag and you start making substitutions, it's hard to put those other guys back in because mentally they're checked out. So give Fulton credit for trying to battle back. 82-70, 12-point lead for the Wildcats with 1:08 left. And give Fulton some credit. They were pretty much on the deck there, out of it. And they're making a nice little flurry here at the end of the game. So Stewart will throw it in for the Wildcats. Falcons will work the length, or Oak Ridge will have to work the length of the floor to be able to run the baseline. Bounce pass comes to Upgraft. He'll bring it down the floor. He's going to go all the way to the hoop. Stops, shoots off the glass. Good. Jamison Upgraft gets his 10th point of the game. Tyler Lee at the other end of the floor can't handle the pass, goes out of bounds, and it will go to Oak Ridge. 84-70 with 54.5 seconds remaining in the game. Slater will bring it down the floor. Feeds it to Shanklin. Left side now to Upgraft. Back to Slater. Slater drives center of the floor. Feeds it across to Shanklin. Ball deflected away out of bounds. Last touch by Fulton. And Oak Ridge keeps the possession. Coach Wright not happy across the way.
No, I wouldn't be either. I mean, here in the fourth quarter, granted Fulton couldn't get their shots to fall, but defensively it's just like they rolled over.
Long inbounds pass goes in the backcourt. Slater will bring it across with 30 seconds remaining in the game. He'll be picked up by Marcellus Jackson. Slater dribbles left side. Little bumping, ball gets knocked loose. Oak Ridge is able to save it. Stewart out on the wing, not wanting to shoot it, but he was open. Feeds it back to Slater. And Oak Ridge will wind it down here with 10 seconds left. As Oak Ridge is going to improve to 22-4 on the year. Fulton will drop to 16-7 as the Oak Ridge Wildcats go wire to wire, and they win at the Jody Wright Arena 84-70 as the veteran Oak Ridge team beats the very young Fulton team tonight, as Oak Ridge played almost a perfect basketball game, I think you have to say.
Yeah, it was a darn near perfect game for Oak Ridge. I mean, didn't miss many opportunities, if any at all. I mean, early in the game, open threes were falling. Late in the game, when they got space, they were falling. I mean, the big man, Jonathan Milloway, from outside in the first quarter pulled up behind the arc, and it went in. Whenever you've got a guy about 6'7" shooting outside, it's going to be a long night.
I mean, every time Oak Ridge had to make a shot tonight, they made it. And Fulton at times struggled, and they went on a couple of stretches where they were hot, but they just couldn't sustain it, and made a nice run at the start of the fourth quarter to cut it. I believe, actually, they cut the lead to 3 after 2 consecutive three-pointers. But from that point on, Oak Ridge just bared down and pulled away, and they get an 84-70 victory over the Fulton Fugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of Ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Oak Ridge gets the win tonight over the Fulton Falcons by the final score of 84-70. Russell Mays along with Corbin Carver joining us here on the post-game show. Let's take a look at the leading scorers in tonight's game. First of all, for the visiting Oak Ridge Wildcats, Jonathan Milloway with 23 was the leading scorer in the game for Oak Ridge. Jonathan Stewart with 16, Kel Slater with 12, Lucas Searcy with 11, Jamison Upgraft with 10. So Oak Ridge had 5 players in double figures. And as we said, very balanced, and every time they needed to make a play, every time they needed to make a shot, they got it to go down.
Well, the biggest stat is Milloway. I mean, Milloway early in the game, he had 12 in the first half. Second quarter, they shut him down. And then again in the third quarter, he erupted for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. And if you're Oak Ridge, that's what you got to have. But for Fulton, that's what you got to stop. And they just didn't have the size to compare with him. I mean, Milloway outstood our guys by a head and a half at times, if not more.
Well, the game it was a physical mismatch, a size mismatch, and an experience mismatch. All of those advantages to Oak Ridge, and you have to give Fulton credit for keeping themselves in the ball game, or at least keeping themselves within striking distance throughout most of the night, and making that one charge there at the start of the fourth quarter to possibly give them a chance. So 5 players in double figures for Oak Ridge. Also scoring, Shanklin with 7 and Miller with 5. For Fulton, they were led by Denaj Kimber with 18 points on the night, 13 for Marcellus Jackson, who only played about half the game because he was in foul trouble. Tyler Lee with 13 points, Taj Kimber with 11. So Fulton had 4 players in double figures, led by Denaj Kimber. Tommy Sweat, who did not play much tonight, 5 points. He was in foul trouble. Desmere Hatchett with 6, Damon Holt with 5, and Usami Bates, who saw a lot of playing time tonight, had 1 point on the night. Oak Ridge led 18-16 at the end of the first quarter, 44-35 at halftime. It was still a 9-point game at the end of the third. Fulton cut it to 3 at the beginning of the third quarter, but Oak Ridge pulled away late to win the game 84-70. In the girls' game, Oak Ridge won as well, 64-53. But the Falcons avoided the clean sweep as they won the JV game tonight. So take that. Take that, Oak Ridge.
Well, for Fulton, I mean, the biggest thing moving forward is definitely going to be experience. Whenever you're starting a group of freshmen like Fulton is, the experience is not there. But over the season, Fulton's been able to grow. It's been an awkward year, both during summer workouts and then during workouts now. I know Jody Wright missed the game early this season due to contact tracing. I mean, that's been the story of the year so far, and it just seems like Fulton has their back against the wall every time in a pivotal game. It'll be interesting to see how they handle districts, I believe, coming out with, is it Alcoa?
Yeah. What a first-round matchup.
Yeah, but you're fighting for a chance to host a region game at that point for Fulton, and that would be big for these freshmen. It'll also be big if they end up having to travel as well. I think no matter what, moving forward from now, it's going to be a learning experience for this team. You've got a veteran leader in Tommy Sweat who has really helped out, and you can tell the difference with his presence on the court. When he's on the court, this team looks a lot different. So it's going to be interesting to see how well this team handles adversity moving forward and how well they'll fight. They'll fight with their back up against the wall.
Oak Ridge gets the win tonight, 84-70. Our next broadcast hopefully will be Tuesday night when the Falcons host Carter. That'll be the last regular season home game. That is a boys game only, and then we'll have tournament action, and we should be here on Friday night. It'll be 2 home games. First of all, girls will play at 5 o'clock against Scott County in the semifinals of the district tournament, and then the boys will play against Alcoa at 8 in the nightcap of the tournament, and that will be a tough matchup for the Falcons. So that does it here. Oak Ridge wins the boys and girls game, but Fulton wins the JV game tonight. We want to thank everybody that makes these broadcasts possible on a technically trying night. Thanks to Robert Sheffield back in the studio, handling the radio side of things, handling the video, and pulling his hair out thanks to the internet tonight was Nicholas Slagle. Our cameraman this evening was Rain Hill with assistance from Mariah Hobby. On the girls' game, you heard Tommy Sweat. On the color, Corbin Carver did the play-by-play, and he was with me for the boys' game tonight. So for everyone here at WKCS Radio, until we talk to you again on Tuesday night, this is Russell Mays saying thanks for listening to Fulton Basketball on WKCS Radio. Good night, Reagan. Good night, Anderson. Let's win tomorrow.